Hi, and welcome to this installment of Frank and Mary here in Westborough. If you haven't seen the show before, my name is Art Bergeron. My day job is as an elder law attorney here at Myrick O'Connell. There are 20 of us here in Westborough. There are 70 of us overall, but this is not about elder law. This is about my friends Frank and Mary. If you've seen one of my presentations, you know that Frank and Mary, they have a very simple goal in life. They want to live in their house until they die and be buried in the backyard. And if that means they're in Westborough, they don't want to move with their kids in Texas or even in Marlboro, they want to stay here. So the point of the show is to figure out who the people are they need to know and what programs they need to know about in order to stay right here. So if you identify with this, you might be really interested in this show. So as you all know, I have a famous co-host, Shelby Marshall, just off of her last stint at town meeting and feeling good about it. And she always finds these great guests and continues to amaze me regarding all the things that are happening in Westborough. It seems like all the time. It's just an incredible community. So anyway, Shelby, you've got some great guests talking to Frank and Mary about something they really should be interested in. This is straight dollars and cents, saving money, how the town and town groups are helping them save money. Shelby.
Absolutely. Well, good morning, Arthur. Great as always to see you. Someday we'll be back. Imagine this. We'll do the show in the studio one day again together. Imagine that. I know. But until then, so I am so excited about today's show. Today we're going to talk about Westborough Power Choice. I'm joined by Peter Dunbeck and Eileen Nikopoulos. Peter, Eileen, and several others, Carol Fisher, John Metzger, our assistant town manager, and I, along with our consultant, the town's consultant, have been working together for several months on this program to bring it to Westborough. And I'm going to let Pete and Eileen introduce it. But you're absolutely right. If you want to live here in Westborough, you need power, you need electricity. And Frank and Mary, they want electricity to make sure they can still read their books and entertain, and we're going to show them how to do that in a most cost-effective green manner as they choose. So Pete and Eileen, welcome.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah. So tell us, what is Westborough Power Choice?
So Westborough Power Choice actually was formed 4 years ago as Westborough Community Aggregation. And it was formed by the town manager and the Board of Selectmen as a way to bring affordable fixed price electricity. In fact, affordable fixed price electricity, and to decrease the town's carbon footprint by having that be mostly green energy. Mm-hmm. So we recently changed the name to Westborough Power Choice because we didn't feel that Westborough Community Aggregation really communicated what we were trying to do. So we thought Power Choice was a lot more effective.
I remember when I heard community aggregation, I thought it was a bunch of people standing downtown. I thought we're aggregating something. I'm not sure. I didn't realize it was power until I became a selectman. I'm just kidding. So actually, I'm going to do something by sharing our screen, because my screen, and hope that we can do this in a smart way here. Pete, tell us about how we get electricity.
So the 25 years ago, the state deregulated the electric supply and separated the selling of electric generation, the sources, from the delivery. And so National Grid, who we think of as our electric company, is actually the electric distribution company that has the monopoly for Westborough. Previously, National Grid also owned power plants and supplied the electricity for the grid. And if you click one through, the new system, in one more click, sure, is based on allowing every resident, every business to choose their own energy supplier. The distribution still goes through National Grid. The services, if you have a problem, power's out and so forth, you call National Grid and they address that. All of the billing is done through National Grid. So the delivery and the use of electricity and the billing and paying is all done the same, but the supply is different. And that was the big change that happened, which gives us the power to pick our own energy sources. And the state allows communities like Westborough to negotiate on behalf of the residents in negotiating a volume purchasing deal where they can get better prices, hopefully, although pricing can't be guaranteed. Price savings can't be guaranteed. It does allow a volume purchasing agreement. And one of the things that Westborough has done in our purchase agreement is also increase the amount of renewable energy in our contract, our default contract. And this is a key strategic goal for the town, is to become more renewable and to be more sensitive to climate impact. So we're excited about this change.
So when we think about this program, and hopefully you guys can see me again, I stopped sharing my screen. Yeah, okay, all right. I think it's critical that Frank and Mary understand, because to me it almost sounds too good to be true, that the town is able to negotiate rates, and that will protect them from other similar programs that may have predatory practices. Can we talk a little bit about the rates? What are the choices available to them, and why is this program, kind of how it's vetted by the town?
I think it would be helpful if we went to one of our slides. I believe it's slide 6 that shows our plans and the actual prices, and we can talk to that.
Okay, and hopefully you can see that now.
So yeah, we have 3 plans within Westborough Power Choice. The group went out to negotiate 3 different levels for people. So our default plan includes 40% local renewable energy. And so that's, you can see on the screen, 10.435 cents per kilowatt hour, which is quite a good rate. We also built a budget plan for people who are more price sensitive. It has the minimum amount of renewable energy at 9.709 cents per kilowatt hours. And then we have a 100% green plan, which is 100% local renewable energy. And that's at 12.585 cents per kilowatt hour. We think that these are all really great plans. And the great thing about them is that the price is guaranteed for 36 months. So no matter which plan you choose, you can move into and out of plans as you choose. But whatever price you choose, you can be in that plan for the duration of the contract, which is a really big contrast to what you would get if you were with National Grid. Their prices are going to go up and down based on supply and demand. And typically in New England, it's higher prices in the winter and lower prices in the summer. So when you join Westborough Power Choice, this is your price. You know it's going to be this price in the summer, and you know it's going to be this price in the winter.
Right, and there's actually a way for folks to actually kind of predict their pricing, right? The tools that we've created allow for folks to actually kind of calculate what their electric bill would be based on prior usage, correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You can go in and, type in your kilowatt hours. You get it right off of your bill, and you can figure out how much your payment is going to be.
So speaking of the bill, can you just kind of walk folks through this? So Frank and Mary are going, this sounds really great. They're going to go grab their electric bill when they're done with this, and it's going to look something like this. So can you walk them through what they want to look for and what they should do next if they want more information about Westborough Power Choice?
Yes, absolutely. So there are 2 sections of your bill. If you're looking at this screen, on the left, we've got a red arrow pointing to delivery services. So those are the charges for getting your electricity to your house, not the electricity itself, but the delivery charges. And that's all going to remain the same. That's what National Grid will bill you for them. The second page is the supply services. And that is the actual electricity. So this is where the change would show up. So we have right here, I'm not sure if you can see the small, it says small writing, Public Power LLC, Westborough AGG. So that's a bill, for example, of someone who's currently a member of Westborough Community Choice Aggregation. And that's who their supplier shows up as. So you can go grab your bill right now and figure out if you're already a member by seeing who your supplier is. If it says Public Power, then you're already a member. If you're not already a member and you choose to join, or if you are currently a member and starting in your November or December bill, it will say it will say Dynegy.
If you go back to
Westborough.
slide 5 and just do the last click of the bill.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Got ahead of myself, guys. Sorry, I
That's
got
all right.
all excited with my, oh, sorry, guys. Hold on. Last slide, slide 5. There we go.
Now there it is.
Nope.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, you had it for a second.
And
There
one
it
click.
is.
There you go.
There you go.
So it's going to change to Dynegy Westborough Power Choice Aggregation. So if you enroll, that's what you'll see.
And one thing I want to go back to, if I could,
Sure.
an important point that you raised, Shelby, was in regard to competitive energy suppliers, because there's a lot of people who are out there offering renewable energy or low-cost energy and so forth. They can telemarket you and door-to-door and whatever. There's hundreds of people out there selling energy sources that would plug right into the National Grid program. The issue is some of them have questionable business practices. And as an example of that, they might have a 90-day low price. And so you look at it and you say, wow, it's only 8 cents a kilowatt hour for my electricity. 90 days goes by and then suddenly it goes to 15 cents a kilowatt hour. So I'm not saying all of these companies are predatory or bad business people and so forth, but Westborough has done its due diligence to protect its citizens with this program. We've done an analysis of how we compare to other communities. We have a very competitively priced program. We benchmarked it against National Grid's historic rates and have actually saved the town money through the 4 years of the program.
Yeah, and I know you guys won't say this, but I will, as in millions of dollars. So this program has been really effective for the community in saving people money. So, and to your point, the protections that it allows, the stability of the pricing, I mean, this really is a no-brainer. It really is. And you have the choice of 3 plans that, fit your budget and fit your desire relative to, how green you want to be.
Yeah.
So
And
Shelby, if I'm the Westborough, if I'm Frank and Mary and I'm listening to this,
Yep.
and I'm saying, okay, so I'm going to pull out my bill and it's going to tell me like what I'm paying now.
Yep.
Right. Or actually, it's just going to tell me what I was paying like last month. Right. It's not going to go for the year. Is there some quick way that we as Frank and Mary can say, okay, this is what we paid last year,
Yep.
for our power, because as you say, the transmission stuff stays the same, right? So it's just this piece of the bill related to where the power is coming from. Is there some way that I could quickly say, okay, kilowatt hours, I'm kind of scratching my head,
Yep.
but here's what I spent in that section, last year on that. And I'm comparing that, and so now I can really look at the other the three alternatives that you guys have done, and kind of compare and contrast.
So it's a great question, Arthur, and Pete, keep me honest here, but what folks should be looking at right now on my screen is directly from I went from Westborough's home screen, right? You can
Yeah.
all see that?
Yeah.
Right here, Westborough Power Choice brought me to this slide. There's this really cool calculator right here.
Ah, a calculator. Just what
Look
I
at
want.
that, right?
Look at that.
And so you plug in, you know, I don't know, 50. There you go.
How about 638, which happens to be pretty close to the average
There you
household
go.
in Westborough.
Kilowatt hours in a month.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there you go. You just plug it in, and then it will speak to the comparison
And
pricing.
it compares.
Yep.
That's
And
great.
then
Just one comment on that. The current, as you're showing it, is the
Yes.
current contract. It doesn't show the 3 plans that are being launched
Thanks,
in
Pete.
fall and will be effective. If you log in, I believe, the middle of October, the website should be up with the new plans.
Now
Absolutely.
I have one more kind of global question. How is it, this is me kind of the consumer, how can it be that there are all of these predatory plans that can actually market to everybody, that they aren't being regulated out, you know, or aren't required to have some kind of I don't know, some kind of fair warning to people? 'Cause, I mean, I was aware of the existence of aggregation, and actually we're doing it in Marlborough, and it's terrific. I was unaware that other than the local aggregation alternative, there were all these other potential players, right? Who can sell you a bill of goods in a second. I'm just curious, or is there, or put another way, is there any control on those players? Because that sounds terrible.
Well, I can say that the Massachusetts Attorney General's office has done a study for the last 2 years, and they are aware of what's going on. And so they determined through their research that many of these companies are operating in a less than forthright manner, put it that way, that they are targeting the elderly. And as Pete said, they're starting with low prices, excuse me, and jacking their prices up. I'm not aware of any legislation to change that at the moment, but I do know that the Attorney General is aware of what's going on, and she's encouraging consumers to be cautious. And so that's why having a town vetted program like this is so valuable.
That's great.
At this point, it's basically buyer beware. And so that's part of our message is the people in Westborough, the elderly, and anybody who, I actually bought into one of those plans. So it's, I guess I'm.
Before you got smart, right, Pete?
Yes.
Oh, no, he just did it as a test. He just wanted to, as a test, to see if he could lose some money. And he succeeded. That's great.
and regretted it. So it is easy to fall into, and it is a buyer beware situation. So part of the program that we're conveying here is this has been vetted by Westborough. A lot of people have looked at it with consultants who know the industry. And the new branding, in part, is to help reinforce that this is a Westborough vetted program. Westborough Power Choice logo will be on the literature and on the website. The town seal will be on the literature and the website to ensure that you're not dealing with Westborough's electricity and pizza shop package.
Right. Well, and so consumers, just as we wrap this up, I want to, so there will be a flyer going out in the next water bill, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Pete
Correct.
and Eileen?
That's correct.
Right. So, so folks will learn about this again. So if they forget about today's show and they go, oh, Frank, come over here, look at this. Remember we saw that show? Here they are again. But there, as of this, when we started the negotiations for this program, there were already 5,000 residents and I think 1,000 businesses on the community choice aggregation program. So this is not like a fly-by-night program. You know, Frank and Mary should really look at this. Talk with your kids about it. We'll put the website up on the screen here along with the customer service phone number, but you can also find that, as you already saw, on the town's website. And please do check it out. It's a great program.
That's great. And Shelby, once again, a home run in terms of this is great information. Great information for Frank and Mary. It's helpful for me. I'm doing this from home. I was gonna ask my wife to come down to hear this because she gotten something from here. Said, how does this aggregation thing work? And I didn't even try. Right.
Yeah.
So before we go, Shelby, once again, we try to have a few minutes at the end of the show where you can kind of talk to folks about kind of what's going on in Westborough. And you were just mentioning there was just what you thought was a very successful town meeting in terms of participation and everything. So what's going on and kind of what's ahead?
Yeah, so proud of our town. We had an amazing turnout for a 3-article special town meeting last night. We had about 215 people attend. We all 3 articles passed unanimously, which is I think it's like a hat trick record. But for the key articles, the key articles were, one is we are proceeding with water treatment contract award, which people probably don't get excited about, but you use it every day, so you want to make sure our water is good and clean. The second thing is that we approved about $59,000 in funding for breathing apparatus for our fire department for life and safety. And then the one I think everyone was really excited about is the town entered into a purchase and sale for the 31 to 33 Eli Whitney property on some know it as the Day Prairie property. 66 acres will be forever protected open space conservation for passive recreation. Really, really excited. $2.3 million purchase, all coming out of the Walkup Robinson open space funds and sale of real estate. So no impact to taxpayers, thanks to the the planning and work of many people and generosity. So very excited about those results. And I'll also just give viewers a heads up of what we have to come. So on next week's show, we have candidate for representative, Dr. Syed Hashmi. He is running against Representative Danielle Gregoire, so he'll be our guest next week. Working on a couple other dates for the Affordable Housing Trust to come back with an update. We had them on a couple weeks ago. Really important initiative there. And on the 28th, we'll have our town manager, Christy William, talk to us about fall town meeting, date to be determined, and the budget. So lots going on. Westborough is a busy, dynamic community with just, it never ends. So stay tuned.
That's why Frank and Mary aren't leaving.
That's right.
They dug a hole in the backyard. They're ready. They're going to be here for.
We got to really check if there's a permit for that. I'm not sure.
Shh. So thank you very much to Peter Dunbeck and to Eileen Nikopoulos. This was really, really great information. Thanks to Shelby once again for finding great people. This is really meaningful to every senior here and everybody in Westborough, but certainly every senior. Folks, we hope you continue to enjoy these shows, and we will look forward to seeing you next week on the next installment of Frank and Mary here in Westborough. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.